on. Come on, quick. Come on.
Move it.
Go.
Hey Jack, it's bloody fine day, you get out.
Fine day, bloody fine day.
You can't bloody trust it, you know, whether it's bloody summer 1 minute, bloody winter the next.
Well, you got to look at it that way, eh? I mean, you think the weathermen will be able to do something about it? They've got all this technology, they can't stop a bloody shower.
The dow now.
What bloody house is that?
That's bloody the dow now, it's the thing they do, but the dow.
The Dow, that's it.
I'm bloody sick of waiting in here, I'm bloody waiting in here for the bus the other night. I was bloody froze by the time it come.
I know,
It me ever so bad, it will.
I know,
Bloody bad, oh,
You're
bloody
lucky. I've waited 4 to 5 hours in the bloody snow for the bus.
Snow, I know. I mean, but I can't afford to bloody carry that the way I am with my bloody arthritis.
Oh, they're always around with your Dow bloody one.
I know,
like everything else.
The bus service is rubbish like this bloody country. It's all going downhill.
All the way. All the bloody way.
It's the bloody young ones today that are bringing it down.
Young people's art I find exciting because it's innovative, it's new, it's fresh. Young people have got a lot of energy and they don't want to get bogged down in traditions. They want art that tells them about today and about what's going on, about their environment, about the politics of today.
The importance of art, it's really its function that is important, the function that it plays in developing a culture, developing ideas, value systems, that is important, that it should be emphasised.
It can say something a lot more powerfully than conventional ways of communication, and a lot of conventional ways of communication are controlled by various organisations anyway, such as the press, television, and it's giving that control to people within communities, giving them a chance to put their point of view across.
I think that's dreadful, the way we're all brought up to believe that unless we're earning a living, then we're nothing. And that this gives you a voice, arts gives you a voice. Lets you say what you are, what you want to do, what you want to be.
And I think the voice of the youth should be heard, because, I mean, Parliament, it's full of all these silver-haired, wrinkled chappies, and they're trying to organise our lives, but they're not in the same position as us.
I think in terms of black art, I don't think they want to know about it. As far as they're concerned, that's what black people do, therefore let black people get on with it.
Asian music is so brilliant and so strong, and people don't appreciate it as much as they should do. I think Walsall is doing a lot for ethnic minorities, arts and culture, but what it is, it's publicity, getting people to come out, and people have been so used to Walsall having nothing, practically nothing, right, that people don't know about it.
I think what
need more coverage so people can get to know what is Bangla music, what kind of music Indian music is, and then that way they appreciate it.
Walsall is a large industrial town in the West Midlands with a population of approximately 250,000 people. It's never really been known as a town with a strong art identity, but in recent times, things have been changing for the better. This video shows some of the wide range of art activities and events that have contributed towards a better understanding of youth arts in Walsall. So, what do you think of this then?
Well, one can feel the innate sensuality gushing from this picture, a great tsunami of passion flowing from the brush. Look at this corporeal manifestation, barely concealing an explosive sexuality embodied within. You can see the staid and constricting moves of the artist's contemporaries and throwing down the gauntlet to the established bastions of academic artistic tradition.
So this is art, is it?
I think if you ask an awful lot of people, they have this idea in their mind that art is sort of ballet and opera, and is actually not for the likes of them. And as a teacher, I have to say, I think that there is an awful lot of that attitude actually fostered within our schools.
A lot of people think they're no good at art, you know, just because they can't draw a pencil drawing or something, but they don't bother to think about other aspects they could use.
Also, some people don't actually understand what the word arts actually mean, because me personally at first I thought arts was like painting and drawing and things like that. Now I can't draw to save my life, you know. And then I realised, well, arts is not just that, because we have DJs that go along with sound system, things like that. Now that is a form of art, and believe it or not, some of them don't realise that.
I think there's specific barriers for people getting into arts because there's a problem with what art is, what art means. I mean, I think there's still an old school of thought, or a European or Eurocentric way of thought, where art is this sort of old masters and it must look representational, and there's still a lot of everyday sort of ordinary people thinking in that way, and it takes quite a new and fresh mind to sort of break that barrier.
Walsall Council have secured about £200,000 from central government to support young people's art for a 3-year pilot scheme. Walsall Youth Arts in the Community is the project that has been set up to use this money. This is to enable the further development of young creative talent in Walsall and to provide premises. Come on, Donovan, only another 1,000 to go.
It does seem to me that Walsall Youth Arts and the way it's developed is like the pioneer project. Actually, it's setting up the right tone. For the first time, there've been a load of youth arts initiatives in the past in Walsall. There'd be youth drama groups, there'd be youth music groups, and because we haven't coordinated as a council and helped and assisted in a coordinated way, a lot of them have foundered because we haven't found money, we haven't found facilities, we haven't found staff to assist with training.
The aim of the project is quite broad and possibly is interpreted differently by different people, the way I see it. It's helping young people train in arts-related skills. It's providing arts activities and training for young people that might not normally be able to have access to that, for young people that might not go through the education system we've got. They're not the kind of people that can perhaps get the qualifications and go on to art college.
Very much youth arts is about creating learning opportunities. It's not about providing something for people to do in their spare time or leisure time. It is hoped that through being involved in workshops, in drama, in video, in music, that young people will gain skills. And that is an educational process.
I think Walsall Youth Arts has achieved quite a lot, really, because it's got into the networks of the community and brought young people out who are interested in doing art. Street art in there. There's a drama group up and running now. There's been a lot of input into festivals and events that have been going on locally in terms of band music, in terms of street art, in terms of dance. It's helped other groups such as Sauda get on the ground, you know, new dance groups. It's a source and it's a resource for young people in the community, and I think it's beginning to live up to that name.
I'd like to think that so far Walsall Youth Arts has made young people in the town realise that if they want to do something, if they're involved in arts activities, they can do it, they can come along to the meetings, they can say what they're interested in, they can say what's lacking, what they'd like to see happen, and they can make it happen without having to go through certain systems that they find alien. The planning group is made up predominantly of people between the ages of 14 and 25. Meetings are open to anybody and anybody can suggest how they'd like things to develop, but the actual planning group are the people with the final yes or no.
The biggest problem that people have in Walsall is finance. The next biggest problem is motivation, because you assume that whatever ideas you've got, it's like pie in the sky. Oh, I could never do that. There's no way I'm going to get an album together. There's no way I'll ever be a published poet.
You fill my head with evil thoughts, then you corrupt my spirit. And with each kiss your lips burn my soul with the very fires of hell. For you are my demon, the elemental at my breast, boring deep into my heart.
It's like a circle that's evolved over the past few years in Walsall, where everyone in this scene suddenly realises that they're capable of producing some form of work. So the circle we're mixing: sculptures, poets, singers, band members, actors, actresses. So yeah, and I suppose in that way we all feed each other, so we all inspire each other, so the work's continually being produced.
Oh, that's the only thing somebody buzzes that concern me.
Have you seen the slides on them?
You don't know whether they're coming or not.
Bloody, when they do, they're multi-bloody coloured with all this paint all over them and writing and whatever.
Bloody graffiti them all doing it.
It's the young uns, that is. No respect.
I know. It's
No respect.
I'll tell you who's doing it, don't I? It's a bloody punk rocket, bloody glue smelly doing it, they're all doing it.
Good bloody spell in the army wouldn't hurt them.
I know.
Now I've still got my regimental cap here. Where did we pride? Where did we pride? There we go, look at the bloody 10-inch iron, is it? Is it?
A writer doesn't copy a style, he looks for a style and he is influenced by it, and it's his interpretation of what he sees and then what he adds on. That's how things develop. A tagger is someone who just goes around writing on walls and stuff like that. What makes a good writer is someone who's devoted and believes truly in himself, because a lot of negative things against you and a lot of authority against you. Traditional art is given loads of money. They'll buy a Van Gogh painting for millions of pounds and the Van Gogh painting will be locked away, yet no one will see it, and they're spending millions on destroying my graffiti where it's out in the open for everyone to see. I'll spend this much money trying to get rid of it. And if they only spent, say, a fraction of this setting up areas and small projects and giving people a chance to develop, the art would turn into something a lot more positive.
Walsall's getting better now because it used to be just like gasworks and arguments between writers, and we used to get in fights a lot. But now, like, because Walsall Youth Arts come along, it's like opened up sort of new things for graffiti.
United everybody, sort of.
Yeah, because look at us now, because like most of us wouldn't even like talk to each other before, but now
we still ain't talking to you.
Showing his pigs on. Probably don't think that we could do it, but if we give our chance, probably we could do it.
This is the generation's call.
I think it's about time they did so much. I mean, you know, it brightens the place up a bit. You know, it's boring, you know, dull walls all the while you got all over it is verbal abuse, like slogans on the wall. It's no good. It's a lot better now.
Well, it used to be vandalism when people used to write things like Betty for Michael on the wall in a marker pen. But you see, well, what do you look at this and think up your own idea, because I can't tell you.
You've got to do a certain sort of art when you've got no money, like Crow with junk sculpture, which makes it better, really. The art's probably better.
You haven't got to have some skill or something to be an artist. Anybody can. It's just expressing yourself and what you feel inside. Like the images that I portray, it's okay. It's very, I know it's like sci-fi, like horror type sci-fi stuff, like films like Alien, stuff like that. It's based on that sort of thing. So I suppose it is really to shock people. I mainly use old television sets as materials because if you take a television apart, there's an inner chassis, which is, once that's taken apart, it's like a Meccano set. You can just, but it's all aluminium plates and they can just be bolted together into any form you want. You know, eventually I'd love to get into building models for films and stuff like that, but you know, at the moment I think that's a long way off.
People are told that to get involved in art is like a waste of time. They're told to conform to society's norm, where they give them down channels where there's no room for people to be creative, like straight from school to the factory floor if you're lucky enough to get a job at all.
I don't think they're respected at all, to tell you the truth. I think it's, you just look at your parents' reactions. I mean, I could see my parents at the weekend and say, oh, I did this, I did that. Oh, that's very nice, dear. But what have you done about getting a job? You know, I think it's just looked on as a hobby or an occupation. Oh, well, it keeps them off the streets, keeps them happy. These youngsters with their leather jackets and their electric music.
Welcome to the Overstrand. Welcome to the Overstrand.
Arriba!
There's lots of young bands around. I know that, like in my age group, about 20, I'm in a band myself and we're all about the same age. People are starting to push now. Because like, the unfortunate thing with Walsall, something I think the Overstrand has tried to combat, is that Walsall audiences are like a lesser version of Birmingham audiences, in that generally they're incredibly apathetic towards music and the arts in general, locally. I think because you never miss what you've never had, and Walsall's never really had anything along those lines.
I do think it's a bit of a shame that a lot of people, some younger people, younger than us, are satisfied with things which are
not as good as they should be. They should want more.
I think that's one thing every band has struggled with, rehearsal places. Trying to get practice rooms is terrible.
Our aim is to establish an arts and drama centre for the mentally handicapped.